Welcome back, guys, to Factorio Meiosis. This is episode number 22. That's right, we're back from a short hiatus. I have successfully moved in real life. I have a temporary setup at my new place. I did not move with any furniture whatsoever except for a mattress to sleep on. So I do not have an office desk. I've ordered one, it's on its way, and in the meantime, I have a really crappy temporary setup. I am recording this from my new kitchen, and my mic stand and all my computer stuff is strapped to my kitchen counter. So there's a little bit of an echo. I've tried to account for that. I did order some acoustic panels, which have not come yet, but I've tried to account for it by stacking cardboard boxes all over the place to try to break up the echo. It's not going to be entirely effective. My desk should show up sooner or later, and then we will move into my bedroom slash office slash studio, and I will hang up some acoustic panels, and audio quality should be good to go. Okay, but those issues aside, we are playing Factorio, and today, to get started, I was looking through the comments of the last episode to try to refresh where I was, what we were doing, what point we left off at. Last thing we did is we made this module cell way over here. And I was reading through the comments, and someone suggested a really good idea. Let's just run down here. Let's leave the car there. Someone suggested a really good idea to reduce the amount of congestion with the trains. And so we're going to do that. And actually, while we're here, let's take a look at our copper cell. This guy's done. Expected resource is 0. It won't be too much longer before it will be time to set up a new copper cell. And when I do, I will probably set up 2, just so that it takes longer for them to get mined out. And as we move forward, I'm going to be mining up more and more stuff. So yeah, we will need more copper cells. Let's go ahead and just pick up these extra ones. What am I doing? I have robots. It's been a while. I'm a little bit... takes a little while to get back in the swing of things. Okay, and I'll leave that there, because if I pick up extra ore, I drop it off into that little guy. We can pick up that. We don't need this anymore. These guys are still humming away. This little patch of iron has never been used. Okay, so when we do replace those copper cells, or when we make a new one, I've got plenty to choose from. We have a lot of copper around here and a lot of iron. I'm not worried about that. But, okay, so the issue with the train congestion, I thought we would come down here and take a look at it, because it's not going to be quite so busy in just a moment. There's a lot of trains in here, particularly all these guys going to the green areas. And the very simple change, which is going to help our congestion immensely, has to do with one of the new train stop options made available in the 0.13 patch. So let's head up here to this guy. This guy is a prime example. This guy makes all of our belt stuff and all of our inserter stuff, and I come here very periodically to pick up stuff and dump it in this car and take it off to build new things. Eventually, we'll have a train coming to pick that stuff up. But for a while, I just come here to pick it up. But for most of its time, it's not really making anything. I have it set limited to make, for instance, 2 stacks of filter inserters, that many stack inserters, because we need a lot of those. And then red belts are here, that many. But most of the time, it's not doing anything. And so when the trains come here, they're not really dropping off anything, because all of the chests are totally full. I even limited these chests, and none of these have been taken from here. So what the change is going to be is we are going to change this stop from 20... Let's go ahead and do this. 20 seconds passed. We are going to add a wait condition. Inventory empty. There. And then we're going to get rid of this 20-second pass condition. So this train is going to sit here until all of these chests empty. Or rather, until the train empties. And that's going to be a long time. So it's just going to sit here dormant. A lot of our trains don't need to be going to and fro all the time. And now I can do this. So now he should just sit here because he's waiting for this empty cargo condition to be met. Let's see, inserter cell. We need to make sure that we do the right one. Okay, so inventory empty. And then we'll just get rid of that. Empty cargo inventory when it's at inserter cell green. So this guy is going to sit here as well. And this guy as well. That's convenient. They all showed up at the same time. Let's see, inserter cell red. We want to go inventory empty. And delete the other one. Bam! And then turn the train back on. Okay, so these guys, they're just going to sit here. As far as I know, they should not use up any of their coal while they're sitting here not moving. So that coal should never run out. If they were there, if they used a little bit of a coal just because the engine is quote-unquote running, you know, it's sitting there idle, but the engine, you can still hear the sound of the engine. I think you can anyway. Sounds like you can. I don't think it uses any coal, so it should be okay to just sit there. We've just taken 3 trains off the track. And last time, I think I showed this. It's been a while since I recorded because I went through that, I moved. But I think I showed that I added roboports to our northern wall here. And I set them up in units of 4 to 5 roboports. And I think last time I checked, all of the repair packs are way over here. Yeah. So the reason I don't have one big consistent network is to make it easier for the robots to move the repair packs when they need them. Because they tend to store stuff at the first storage type thing that you place, either a roboport or a storage chest or whatever. So if I place the first one over here and some robot over here needs it, he's got to take a stupidly long trip to go get it. You can get around that, but it's simpler for me because I don't have a ton of robots flying around in this base. It's mostly trains. It's simpler to do it this way. So these guys should stay nice and repaired. And I even added more turrets here, but all this should stay repaired. And I also added them here and over here. And I have not added them yet over here. I need to do that. And I need to go kill these guys who have encroached upon my new territory. So guys, I'm running around updating all the trains, making sure they just wait here until their inventory is empty. Case in point, still has a lot here. The one I just did is the steam cell one. He's been sitting there for a while, but he will get used up. And here's another train. So I just realized I don't have to sit here and wait for each individual train. I knew, of course, that I could go into the trains menu, and you can even search here by doing like red. But I wanted to be very systematic, make sure I hit every single one. It's hard to go down a checklist with that big menu. But what you can do is you can click on this, instead of waiting for the train to show up, you can click on the stop itself. It'll show you the trains with the stop. And then I just click on that train, because for these particular ones, there's only one per stop. That is the way it's designed. So we don't want the source, we want the delivery area, which is this, the module cell. So we're gonna add the condition inventory empty and remove 20 seconds past. It's gonna pick up for 20 seconds. That's not different because it's not always gonna be able to fill up, particularly red circuit cells, which are hard to make and they're slow. But there we go, empty cargo inventory. Now I have to just update every single one of them. So looking at the train menu, now that all the stops have been updated, you can see that a lot of the trains, probably more than half, are not moving at all. They're all just waiting at their drop-off point, waiting for their cargo to be emptied, at which point they'll go pick up more. The amount of congestion in the system is dramatically less. The ones that are still moving are the coal refuelers, and I guess the ones that are used the most. We still have a few here and there, but more or less, the amount of congestion in the system is radically reduced. And we didn't do it with any kind of fancy circuitry, or it wasn't a complicated change. It's very simple, straightforward, but is going to have a profound effect on our system. And I also went through and I limited a lot of the chests at the train stops because I have just a lot of materials, a lot of things I've made, a lot of raw resources going here and there that are just basically getting wasted because I just have too many of them on the trains and in the chests. not actually getting used. So our system should now be much more efficient. And what I'd like to do now, a little bit more housekeeping, is we are going to... See, these... you know what? I'll provide it power afterwards. We're going to set up some roboports down here. I shouldn't need to expand for a while. And when I do, we'll just move it. Oh, that is within range of that. Okay, good. So we're going to give you some of these and some of those. And then we're going to... Should we leave the car there? Let's bring the car. We're going to connect up these guys in networks of 3 to 5, depending on the situation. What seems best. You know, it's just gonna... I don't want to hop inside and outside of my car all the time. So let's actually do it this way. We need to remove you. And get to line up nicely. All we want is that line to show up. Now, that's 3. Yeah, I think we'll do 2 sets of 4 for this upper wall. I made 20-some roboports, and I had some already. Okay, and I dropped 25 construction robots in here. That should be fine. I will put a decent amount of repair packs. The other thing we need is to have a passive provider chest here. Provide them with replacement walls and turrets just in case stuff breaks. But since they're repairing it, it really shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be necessary. But you never know. If we get one concentrated attack, it might be. Now we'll move the car. Come over here. This didn't used to be necessary, doing it like this. It is now because of the way that they changed the monster behavior in 1.3. So what I'm gonna do here, the green outline is construction robot area. So we don't want this network to touch that network. We just want continual repair. I'll give that just one little space of overlap. And then we'll drop some construction robots in this one. So because there is not the linked lines there, it won't transport materials and construction robots in between these two. Give it maybe just some more of those. I've got quite a few extra inside my car. Seems like, have the worms grown, or did I just not kill worms? It seems like the worms have grown and encroached upon area I previously cleared, or maybe I just didn't clear that. I know that the bases are expanding more aggressively. I wasn't sure. I didn't know that the worms would grow like that. It might just be my my imagination. Okay, so that's 4. So let's just put this in the middle. There we go. So they will repair things. And tell you what. Ooh, that was a lot of damage. But I think... Whoa, Nelly. All it takes is one little spot of the fire there. That was close to death. One little drop of fire will kill anything, basically, because it sits there for a while. But you know what? Let's come back. I'll clear those guys out. Trim up the border later. That took, what, 8? I think 8 of my roboports did that little section. So let's do just let's eyeball it. I've got 25, I've got 30 left. I just used 8. So that might take 10. 20, 30, yeah, I should have enough. So, one thing we can do now is we can pump up the volume. These guys are going decently fast, I guess. Blop, 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 etc., more or less. We don't need the productivity modules anymore because they're tapped out. This is at 0.2, it'll be at 0.1 soon. This one's at 0.1, and that one's at 0.1. So it's time for the speed modules. And we can replace all these speed module 1s with speed module 3s, at least until I run out. I'll go dump the speed module 1s into my module center so they can start to be converted into speed module 3s. This one too. Yeah, we did the whole thing. Let's observe the difference. Wow, I can't even, I was gonna say blop, blop, blop to try to give you a metronome. You can tell visually. I can't even blop, blop. I can't blop that fast. I can't blop that hard. That is, look at that. If we zoom in, it doesn't actually change anything, but it makes it a little bit more dramatic. Well, I was trying to think about what the next thing to do should be, and I think what we should do and what we haven't done in a while is we should get rid of some of these redundant parts of the original stem cell. And I think one of the easiest things we could do to get rid of is we can get rid of our steam engines, because we've got 500 of them elsewhere. When I originally made this guy, before I had made any of the other areas, what I thought would happen is as we made other areas, I would remove these in pieces, but turns out just from the nature of the way the game works, more complicated items are made from less complicated items, which are made from raw materials. I need all the basic stuff for all the more complicated stuff, and I don't want to rebuild the research anywhere. I want to finish up the research here and then get rid of it entirely. And I need a lot of this stuff for the research as well. But we can definitely get rid of the steam engines. We've almost taken out all of the iron ore patch that we started with. All of the coal patch. This is actually the second coal patch. But we are down to just 9 of these mining drills. That's pretty good. And basically, I've left these steam engines plugged in over here just to get rid of the coal, to have somewhere for it to go. One of the things I'd like to do, I don't want to just get rid of the stem cell. I want to get rid of all the original ore that we started with and have this area just be empty. Be a show of how far we've come based upon how little is here. We can get rid of this guy and that guy. We can get rid of this guy. There we go. So we're down to 10 or 11 of those. And if I need to, I might start bringing in some items to finish up research, like the iron and the copper via train. Okay, so let's do this. Let's starve you. These guys are mostly empty anyway. I'll leave this guy here to use up the rest of that coal. And then we'll get rid of these guys as well. All right, so let's remove that. So that will start to starve. This guy still has some coal. This guy doesn't. So let's just make sure. Actually, no, we already cut that off. Okay, so we should be good to go to get rid of all of this guy. And in fact, I can just pick up the little bit of coal that's there. You are not being... Oh, because it's daytime and we must be using our solar panels. Yeah, okay. So that little bit will take a day or so to filter through. But this area should be fine to just grab our robots and go. Whoop. There they go. Pick up these guys. I have to be careful which pipes I pick up and which I don't, because some are carrying oil and its various byproducts. Okay, there we go. So that one, the oil ones, obviously, they're important. We don't want to get rid of those. The water ones, they might actually be going somewhere else. So that's coming from this pump. Oh, okay, I got rid of that. Was that going anywhere else? It shouldn't have been. We need water for our refineries, but I should have given them their own pump. Yeah, it looks like I did. And this... Now that I've taken out, I think this was just powering those refineries, because you need 1 pump per 10 of those steam engines, unless you're storing it and doing some other slightly unnecessary but more complicated shenanigans, which sounds right up my alley now that I think about it. You need 1 of these pumps per 10 of those steam engines, so anything else that requires water, I would have given its own pump, and I think that's what I did. For instance, this guy is powering those guys. Okay, so that's... However many we just got rid of, and we can go around and pick up the belts as well. There's a nice little change of pace. Instead of building huge stuff, we're destroying it, taking it down. Grab these guys. One thing I've noticed running around doing maintenance, now that I'm back, or not back, I'm in a new location. I've more or less finished my move. I'm not done moving in. I don't have basically any furniture yet. I've ordered some, and it's gonna take a while to get here. So I'm gonna be playing in my kitchen for a while with this ridiculous limited setup. Okay, this is coming down the main line. Did I cut that? I did cut it. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for that to get used up. And I'm not, aside from the research, I think I've built most of this stuff. I have not, the weapony stuff I have not made elsewhere. I don't have a weapons cell. I've got a destroyer cell, which makes the little capsules. We don't have a turret cell. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff here that I still need to make. All right, but let's check out. These guys are all empty. This guy has a little bit of coal. I can just pick up the coal. It doesn't matter. I was trying to be super optimized about it, not pick up any coal I didn't need. But, I mean, come on. I got plenty of inventory. Inventory's been totally buffed. I think we can handle it. This little turnaround was just to account for the limits in our spacing. Wow, we're going to have so much empty area. I don't plan to do anything with it. Maybe we could make some kind of museum. I don't know how. Aside from just leaving it empty. Maybe we can construct some stuff. It is getting kind of dark in here, isn't it? And these guys must be isolated. I guess it's nighttime, huh? Boink. As long as I stay zoomed in, it kind of looks like it's brighter than it is because of the little green square showing me where I can place these guys. Okay, let's just make sure we didn't isolate. Okay, we still have access to 600 steam engines, which means we're still connected to the greater network. You are normal oil. That's a rock, but that's just a doodad. It's not a physical rock. Now it's very bright. Zoom in, enhance. I should be able to just do like that. Yes. Back to me, my lovelies. Back in my inventory. I guess we'll repurpose this. I might make another steam cell elsewhere. And I think 1,000 steam engines is as much as I will ever need for this base. I mean, really, I have so many solar panels and accumulators now. I could probably do without them. But why not go overboard when it's possible? And one thing I definitely want is a radar over here. So is it the daytime already? Wow, that didn't take long. I'm always amazed by how fast the day-night cycle is in this game. Okay, that's probably good enough. Let's give it a little light. There. Okay, nice. Missing some coverage down there. I'll try to fix that later. Okay, so we left you with the coal, and now it's totally backed up. Because that's the only thing using our coal on a regular basis. I think I can... Yeah, the power lines, we've got the long ones there. So I can get rid of these. And we can pick all of this up. I'm just doing this. You know what? Let's leave the big ones. It's always good to build redundancy into your power system. I was in here fiddling with stuff, checking up on things. And I noticed that my refineries down here were running super duper slow, these guys. And what I learned is that I had an isolated power system here. They were running off of only the steam engines right next to them because a power line got cut at some point when I was moving stuff or changing something. And so they didn't have enough power to operate, so I wasn't producing batteries. So I wasn't producing turrets, so I couldn't go repair my wall because I didn't have the turrets. So yeah, always have the redundancy. So this line will still go up there. Look at that. Look at the empty space. Cleared up all that and that. I'm going to clear up this as well. Pretty good. Okay, that's a nice step forward. Anyway, all right. So our oil rigs have been running low. I need to make another oil outpost over here. And then it won't be too much longer before I'll have to expand the walls again and take some more of these oil pockets. Wow! Whoa. Okay, we found another mega cluster There's a thing with the new patch, by the way. The further you get from your starting spot, the more resources there are. Which might explain this guy and this guy. So that might be a good for our long-term oil stability issues that I sort of was worried about. But that's going to do it for this episode. Do we have another one that's empty? We do. That's going to do it for this episode. Next time, more Factorio. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you next time. This guy's not getting mined, is he? Bye-bye.